I love your posters. I love Queen. That's so
Oh, you
funny.
do?
Those
That's awesome. I'm pretty much obsessed with them.
same.
Yeah, I just love them so much. I like that they tried so many different styles of music, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love I think one of my like favorite movies is Bohemian Rhapsody because I don't know, like I just love that movie. It was so good.
Yeah,
And I feel
same
like
here.
captured like their story perfectly and everything. And I literally love their music. I actually for an audition I sang Somebody to Love. So that's like one of my favorite songs. So yeah, I love Queen.
Oh, you have the right voice for it, so
Thank
you did justice.
thank you.
Yeah. I'm very excited to chat with you. I mean, you're still very young, but you've accomplished so much, not just musically, but the fact that you're part of childhood cancer awareness. I mean, you're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
inspirational.
Thank you. Thank you. And this is my first like I guess like in-person interview kind of. So I'm very excited.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm honored. Well, you're kicking 2021 off, with a exciting start, with
Yeah,
the new
definitely.
single Creep. Um, I love it. Not only
Thank
does
you.
it have like a cool guitar sound in it, but it also has like a very kind of like soulful vibe to it as well. Can you talk a little bit about what the recording experience was like for Creep?
Yeah, so we started recording the whole record a long time ago, but I actually went to Nashville to record with Brian Craddock, who is my producer in Nashville, and I worked with him on this entire record. So we went to Nashville in February, my mom and I, and we recorded Creep in like 3 days. So it was like something really quick, but it was really fun. And then a month later the pandemic happened, and that's kind of when we decided to turn it into like a full project. But going to Nashville and recording with him was like a dream come true. I'm a huge Daughtry fan, and I've looked up to him for so long. Everyone in the band, so being able to go and record with him was like, it was so crazy. And being in Nashville was awesome, and I loved it because I'm like, music is literally my life. So like going to a place where like music is the center of everything. It was so cool. So that recording process was so much fun. We spent like hours in the studio. I get there at like 9 and wouldn't leave until 9. Like it was so much fun. But recording is one of my favorite things. So like I'm never bored or like, okay, when is this going to be over? Like I literally loved every second of it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Nashville is such a cool city, and to be there with someone like, Brian Craddock, that must have been such a super fun experience.
Yeah, it really was. It was.
Very cool. And then so the EP Headspace is out next month. How would you describe the overall sound and vibe of it?
So I feel like this album for me is definitely like a new era for me musically. My last record was a little bit more on like the pop side. This definitely leans more of like an alt rock, but kind of pop at the same time. It's a little bit more edgy than what I've done before. But every song is like very meaningful and personal to me, and it has like a lot of meaning, and that was something that I really wanted to capture with this record was like my personal experiences. And Headspace in itself, the title of the record, my mom and I came up with that because most of the songs on the record are about anxiety and mental health and kind of my experience with that. So I really wanted to be able to capture that in the record. And it's definitely a new vibe from what I've done before, but it's probably my favorite thing that I've done in all of the projects that I've worked on.
That's amazing. Yeah, I noticed the lyrics are very kind of like personal. So how is it kind of sharing your own intimate thoughts with the public? Is it something you
Yeah, so
enjoy, or is it kind of scary?
well, I think that for me, I've always used like music and songwriting as a way to kind of like let it out. And putting it in a song is kind of like putting it to rest for me. So with Creep is all about my experience with anxiety and what it's like to have a panic attack. And there are some like personal details that I threw in there that like not many people would know unless you knew my experience. So for me, being able to write like that and put those personal details in that maybe people wouldn't pick up on, it's like a really freeing thing. Like it really helps me put everything to rest. And when I have a song that's like a powerful song about my experience, it makes me feel better about what I've been through because I'm able to put it into something that I love and then be able to perform it and record it and stuff like that.
No, that's good. And I think also it resonates with other people, especially during this time with the pandemic. You know, I'm sure,
Yes, definitely.
I mean, I know for myself, it can be kind of anxiety inducing, but I'm sure for a lot of other people too. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it like helps yourself kind of be cathartic, but also
Yeah.
help other people as well. And you've been doing this since you were 13, right? You started writing songs at 13?
Yeah, I did. I
That's
did.
amazing.
I always sang, not very well when I was younger. But like music was always a huge part of my life. But 13, I did a songwriting camp, and that's kind of when I got started and started recording. You know, I used to like never want to perform in front of anybody. And around 13 is when I actually started to like go out and perform. And I got over that fear. But yeah, I mean, it feels like it's been a long time, but also it doesn't feel like it's been a long time. I feel like the most amazing thing is like the opportunities that, you know, God has like given me in these, you know, years. I mean, some stuff that like I wouldn't have even imagined happening. And yeah, so it feels like it's been a long time, but at the same time, it definitely doesn't. And then I feel like, I mean, I love every second of like the process and the music business and stuff like that. So.
Oh, that's cool. And what was like the first song you learned on guitar?
Uh, I think it was I'm Yours by Jason Mraz.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, yeah, super simple. I think that was it. I don't remember. I don't like, oh man, like I said, it doesn't feel like a long time ago, but when I think back, it actually is. But yeah, I would say that that was the first song.
Are you more of like an acoustic guitar person, or do you play both, like electric and acoustic?
I'm definitely more of an acoustic person. I don't know. I feel like I could play electric if I wanted, but I feel like definitely I'm always playing acoustic guitar.
Yeah, it's something you can like take anywhere.
Exactly, yeah.
That's cool. And for music right now, what are you currently listening to? Do you have like a favorite band or artist at the moment?
Right now, let's see. I've been listening to like a lot of like different things, like very different genres, but I've been loving Blacktop Mojo. They're from
Oh
Texas.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I
I
talked
love
with
them.
the singer. He's such a cool guy, Matt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I've been loving them recently. Somebody on my team had introduced me to him, not to him personally, but like to the band. And I've been loving them. And then I've been listening to Mod Sun recently, which is like kind of like that was like a new thing for me. He's like in the pop punk genre, and he released like a bunch of new music, and I've been listening to that. Um, Also, I'm a huge Greta Van Fleet fan.
Yeah,
I love them, so I've been listening to their music as well. Like I feel like my music taste is like all over the place.
that's how I am too.
Yeah, yeah, and I would say the last one probably be Chris Stapleton. I've been listening to a lot of him lately, also.
No, I've heard of him, but what song would you recommend?
From Chris Stapleton?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I love off his new record. I would say the song "Cold." And then probably my favorite song of all time of his would be Sometimes I Cry. Like his voice is so good and like he's very like bluesy and I love the tone of his voice and it's Sometimes I Cry. Like, oh my gosh, that song is
I'll
amazing.
have to
I
check
love it.
that out because I've heard of him, but I wouldn't be able to name his songs, so I'll have to check those songs out.
Yeah, he's so good. I love him.
That's so cool. Do you remember like the first concert you ever went to?
Yeah, the first concert I went to was actually a Jonas Brothers concert.
Oh,
So yeah, I was a huge Jonas Brothers fan when I was little. I literally love them. That those are like some of my greatest memories because like I think I went to like 3 of their shows or something like that. And they were actually my last concert before the pandemic happened for like their reunion tour and stuff. But my first like real rock show was a Daughtry show. They played with Three Doors Down and Aranda, and I think I was like 10 when I went to go see them. But yeah, the Jonas Brothers, and then my first real rock show was Daughtry.
Oh, that's really cool. Now I remember the Jonas Brother frenzy. And it's crazy to think they're all grown up now and have families.
I know, it's crazy. It's so crazy.
But no, it's cool that you went to Daughtry and now you're working with one of the musicians. So
Yeah.
cool.
It's really crazy. I honestly, it's just crazy how everything like came full circle. And I would say like within the last like 2 years. I mean, it's insane, you know, like you watch the music videos and you see like, you know, all the musicians and like that you look up to, and then like being able to work with Brian was literally like a dream come true. So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. And has he given you like a lot of advice or any
Yeah.
insight?
Yeah, totally. I mean, he's become like a mentor to me, a really great friend, and he's guided me throughout all of this. And just like his expertise working on the record, you know, and what he hears and what he wants me to do, like vocally. I mean, it's been such a learning experience for me, because all the record except Creep was recorded at my house remotely. So I'm actually in my basement right now. I have a cedar closet that my dad and I turned into like a recording booth. And I learned how to use the software, and he helped me navigate through that. And there was a lot of questions about how to use like Pro Tools and everything. But yeah, I recorded everything from my house, and he was super helpful with that. So we did it all remotely. But I mean, man, through the last few months, I've learned so much from him.
That's really cool. Yeah, I was looking at your Instagram and saw that your dad turned that closet into a studio space. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's a cool space. It's like very small, but it gets the job done. And I go in there, and like it's nice because it's like soundproof and nobody can hear me, so I can just do my own thing in there, and I love it. Yeah.
Awesome. So has music been taking up your entire pandemic, or have you been working on other hobbies as well?
I would say that music was probably like the one thing that I really did during quarantine. I mean, everybody was home, but for the first few months, like I literally was not leaving the house because my family, two of the people in my family could be at high risk, you know, so we were really staying home. And I think in March was when we decided that we were going to turn it into like a full record. So from March until, I would say maybe like November, we worked on the record. So from that time, it was always music, 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 but I wouldn't have it any other way because that's literally my favorite hobby.
Absolutely. And what are your main goals for 2021? Hopefully, you know, concerts will open up again and you can get out on the road. Is that your main goal for this year?
For 2021, I feel like it's just like constantly writing and working on more music and recording and releasing. You know, I took a pretty big break in between my last record and this one, and I definitely want to consistently put out music. So I feel like that's my main goal, is to just work with other writers, write on my own, and then record more and release more. You know, I feel like I wasn't like a huge performer. Like I didn't always perform out, but once everything starts to open back up again, I mean, I would love to do that. Because I do really love it. But you know, especially I live in New Jersey and it's literally like 20 degrees outside right now. So yeah, so anytime I want to perform, like, you know, I always have to be like, okay, is it going to be too cold? So obviously if I was going to perform outside, that wouldn't be like a thing to do, but I would, you know, once places open up indoors, I would love to do that.
That's awesome. Do you have plans to like record a music video for Creep or?
So I did a lyric video for Creep. So I didn't do a music video, but my next single, which is coming out on February 3rd, Let Me Down, I did do a like live session kind of music video. It's like a really like acoustic stripped down performance, and that'll be out like a week after Let Me Down releases, so February 10th. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. I did that with my producer in New Jersey and one of his friends, and we did like a really cool stripped down acoustic performance, like different than how you hear it on the record and basically how I wrote it originally. So I'm excited for that. So that is a music video that's coming. And then I would love to get some more videos in for some of the other songs on the record. So I just have to finalize stuff with that. But yeah, for sure, the Let Me Down video will be out a week after the single releases.
Cool. I'll definitely keep my eyes peeled for that.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.